Hello and welcome to Odds on La Liga, Matchday 28 after the last 16 round in the Champions League, the Euro Derby. Atletico de Madrid supporters still angry at the referee at the penalty shootout. Álvaro, we have a crucial weekend in La Liga with Atletico de Madrid, Barcelona. Not sure if Atletico are going to be able to recover from this very heavy hit again against Real Madrid in the Champions League.
Well, it's obvious that Atletico de Madrid will be very affected if they suffer back-to-back defeats, one against Real Madrid and another one against Barcelona, but I believe that there is a big chance that Barcelona gets something out of Riyadh Metropolitano this weekend. It was tough for Atletico. I think personally that they were better than Real Madrid in the second leg. Not much better, but they played better. But then in the penalty shootout, Real Madrid did their job. Then Julián Álvarez's goal was overruled. I mean, the rules are like that. If you touch the ball twice, the goal has to be cancelled. And, from that game, probably I pick Raúl Asensio. I think that Real Madrid has a new centre-back in the squad. We didn't know about Raúl Asensio, but his performance against Atletico was very good. He's very fast. Probably if Real Madrid can take some positives from that game as well, is Asensio. And the performance of 𝗵𝐵𝗫𝗀 was very good, in my opinion, when he came on. The game was a little bit box-to-box already, and I think 𝗵𝐵𝗫𝗀 enjoys that situation. But yeah, it was a good game, very nervy. And I think that if Atletico de Madrid loses again, they may get a scar from losing against Barcelona and Real Madrid just in 5 days.
Yeah, the two titles will be over, I think, if they lose in La Liga. Still alive in the Copa del Rey. I'm still shaking, Álvaro, from that game in the Champions League. Remember also that Spain will have 5 teams in the next Champions League. It's almost certain after Athletic and Betis also qualify for the next round in Europe. So guys, let's analyze everything with Alvaro Romeo, with you. Leave your comments, press the like, tell me if you agree also, if you saw Julián Álvarez touching the ball twice, some people even say 3 times before kicking. Well, let's go on now with the show. And let's start with the game we have on Friday, Álvaro. Key one for the relegation battle, Unión Deportiva Las Palmas, Alavés, both in the bottom 3. Las Palmas looking really bad, going to Segunda División. Las Palmas lost to Betis, down to 10 men. They couldn't even beat Valladolid recently, so it's only 2 points in the last 9 games. Better Alavés, still again in relegation spots, but they look much more alive. Álvaro, they beat Villarreal and they can keep the hope, in my opinion. They drew also in the last 2 away games.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a draw. I think Alavés can make it. I know that Las Palmas is recovering a few players ahead of this game. A couple of important ones, by the way, because Moleiro and McKenna are 2 of those that make Las Palmas better. They are the starters for the team. Then Fabio Silva will be up front. He has scored 7 goals. There are a few arguments, if you like, to think that Las Palmas can get something, but the run is really poor. And I think that Alavés is simply better right now at this stage. This is a key game. It's a key game. And if Las Palmas loses, they are going to be in big trouble. But still, I think that Alavés can get something out of this game, because Alavés simply, they are more capable, they are more ready not to lose a game. In the last 2 games, they haven't lost them. They got a win against Villarreal, very important one. They got a draw. Las Palmas, however, they haven't won a football game since December. They haven't won any in January, any in February in La Liga in this calendar year. And that run is just not right. Then not being able to beat Valladolid is something that looks very bad on them. And Alavés, not a great season for them either. We have spoken about them. They got a win last weekend. It was the first win in 4 months at Mendizorroza for them. And I think that they can snatch a draw here. I think the best value is there in the draw, obviously. It's one of these Friday games that are not particularly entertaining, and they are not gonna be very exciting. I'm pretty sure about that. Let's show if 𝗍𝐭𝐿𝐴 is not playing, he's gonna be allowed for this game. 𝗍𝐭𝐿𝐴 has scored an outstanding 11 goals, so there is a little bit of a duel there if both strikers play, Fabio Silva and 𝗍𝐭𝐿𝐴, but 𝗍𝐿𝐴 is allowed, as I said before. But yeah, I think that Alavés can get a draw here because they are in a better run and away from home. They are not great, of course they are not, but at least they are showing that they have a little bit of resilience, whereas Las Palmas, as I said before, not being able to beat Valladolid look very bad on them.
Well, Alavés, they are 14th in the away standings, so they are not that bad indeed. For instance, the draw no bet also for Alavés could be a good option with odds around 2. On Saturday, we have Valladolid, Celta de Vigo. For instance, Celta is worse away from home than Alavés. Only one win this season, only 7 points, but of course, super favorites, Alvaro, to beat Valladolid. Valladolid already in Segunda División, and Celta with a very good chance to target for the European spots. I think we overlooked the job of Giraldez, one of the managers of the season, no doubts.
Yeah, of course. Well, he replaced Rafa Benítez last season and he improved Celta automatically. He's got a very positive approach to football. His teams are offensive. Just to give you a little bit of stats that you will like. I mean, Celta last season at this stage, they had 24 points. Rafa Benítez completed around 20 games and Celta was battling to avoid relegation at this stage a year ago. 24 points last season at this stage. This season they've got 36, so they've got 50% more than last season. And I know that Celta is a little bit of a streaky team. If they get a bad run, it can be a long one, but now they are in a good one. It's true that they haven't won at Pucela since 2013, but I would take this with a little bit of with a pinch of salt, because I really think that Valladolid has been really poor this season, and right now there is no reason to back Valladolid. You can chase the odds, of course, and think that Valladolid one day they're gonna win a game and you're gonna cash your 2, 3, 4, 5 units for your bet. But I think that it's important to remark again that Valladolid is probably one of the worst sides in Europe when it comes to the big 5 leagues. So Celta to win 170, yes, it's an option. I also like I think that Celta is going to attack more because they have this approach. They are offensive. They've got strikers who actually are very ambitious as well. So Valladolid goalkeeper to do 3 or more saves is something that, looking for value in this game, I like it a lot. It pays 173. I'm expecting Celta to attack a lot, so I think there could be a good opportunity to make some money there in the Valladolid goalkeeper doing 3 saves or more.
All right, let's move to the next game. Mallorca Espanyol, also important here for the relegation and for European spots. Espanyol drew with Girona. They are only 2 points away from the bottom 3 with 1 game in hand. Mallorca 7th, still pushing for Europe. 3 straight 1-1s for Mallorca. So I can see, Alvaro, probably a draw or a low scoring affair in this game.
Yeah, me too. I back Espanyol somehow with an Asian handicap plus 0.75, meaning that if they win the game, you win. If they draw, you win. And if they lose by 1, you suffer half a lose. Since I think that it's going to be quite nail-beating, and I think that Mallorca right now, they are suffering to smash somebody, to hammer somebody. And Espanyol is in a decent run, I have to say. I'm going to back Espanyol. I think that potentially they could draw this game. Maybe they can lose by 1 in a bad day, but I don't think Mallorca is going to hammer them. I have the feeling that this is not going to happen like that. Mallorca doesn't have a lot to play for. I know that Arrasate is ambitious. On the other hand, I don't want to create like false narratives. If we talk about Celta fighting for Europe with 36 points, I cannot discard Mallorca fighting for Europe if they have 37. But I have the feeling that the trajectories are different. Celta is on the way up, and Mallorca is a little bit settled right now. Perhaps they cannot leave that hole in which they keep on drawing games. So that's why I'm going to back Espanyol, because lately I have seen a positive reaction from this side. At home they are very good, especially as of late. At home they got 3 wins and 5 draws in the last 8 games, which is really good for a team that is battling to avoid relegation. Then away, I have to say this as well. Away, Espanyol is the second worst side in La Liga. But I just have the feeling that this can change. Or I just have the feeling that they are into a relegation battle, and maybe their willpower will prevail over Mallorca, not necessarily winning this game, but making it difficult to Mallorca to win. So I'm going to back Espanyol with an Asian handicap plus 0.75, 178.
Okay, next game, this one for Europe and for La Liga title, Villarreal, Real Madrid. I'm surprised that this game actually is going to be played on Saturday, since it should be on Sunday, in my opinion, with Real Madrid playing extra time, penalty shootout on Wednesday. Let's see also if they are recovered emotionally and physically for the battle of El Metropolitano. Real Madrid tend to forget about the La Liga when they are fighting for the Champions League, so I can see a lot of risks in this game, Alvaro, with Barcelona being able, I think, to grab a good piece of the title this weekend. Is very difficult to win in La Cerámica, with Betis challenging for the 4th or the 5th spot to go to the Champions League. They lost to Alavés. And Real Madrid with another injury problem. This time is Mendy. He got injured at the Metropolitano. Not sure if I would back Real Madrid here, to be honest, Alvaro. And I still don't like how they are playing recently. I think since Ceballos got injured, the team is playing way worse.
Yeah, they are more flat. I agree. However, they are competitive and they are bloody dangerous. That's the thing. They are not playing particularly well, but the other day, the only thing needed was a little bit of a space for Mbappé to run and, to create that, that penalty for the team that Vinicius ended up missing. So, yes, they are not playing particularly well, but on the other hand, they are dangerous. And I see the opponents are very wary of that. They press Real Madrid a lot, making sure that there are no transitions. So there is a fear factor towards Real Madrid. Villarreal is a team that haven't lost a lot at home this season, only 2 defeats, 1 against Barcelona, one against Betis. They are a dangerous team. They score a lot of goals. That's why I'm going to go for the goals market in this game. Why do I go for the goals market? Because lately, Real Madrid, away from home, has been a little bit like, you could have done better. Do you remember the game against Betis, for example? The attitude wasn't there. And especially after a game like the game against Atlético de Madrid, I don't know if the players are going to be still very tired or perhaps with hangover from that big win against Atlético de Madrid. I'm not saying that Real Madrid cannot win this game, not at all. I'm saying that Villarreal scores a lot of goals, and that's why I'm going to back the goals market, because Real Madrid, can score a goal in a blink of an eye. And Villarreal has good strikers as well, like 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏, who has scored 8 goals in La Liga this season, or 𝐿𝐭𝐴 and the battle with Rudiger and Barry is going to be a nice one. I'm going to go for over 2 goals in the second half, could be my preferred bet in terms of money I get for it, 2.25, but it's slightly safer to go for over 3 goals in the game, not in the second half, in the game, 173. And when it comes to the calendar, Edu, it was as simple for Javier Tebas as dropping Osasuna Getafe to Saturday and leaving Villarreal Real Madrid on a Sunday. As simple as that. I don't know why they did it, and I don't know why Betis is playing against Leganés at 1 p.m. on a Sunday either. That game could have been easily at 5:30.
Yeah, doesn't make sense, only for TV, I guess. Well, I didn't see a good attitude, actually, with Mbappé, Vinicius and Bellingham, also at the Metropolitano, especially in the first half. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of the players get dropped and give some chances to 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, to Arda Güler, and to move a little bit the dressing room, also with Brahim playing good moments at the Metropolitano, because I didn't see, especially Vinicius or Mbappé, fit enough at the Metropolitano. Well, and next game is Girona, Valencia. Valencia finally, after so many weeks outside the relegation spots, thanks to the win against Valladolid, It's only one defeat in the last 6 La Liga games for Valencia. Girona getting in trouble. Still good cushion, is 7 points away from Alavés, but they are in bad form and having a bad season, I could say, overall.
Yeah, bad season for Girona and a bad run as well. 2 points of the last 15. Valencia got 8 points of the last 15, so Valencia is in a better run, obviously. And not only that, under 𝗀𝗏𝗏, Valencia got the 50% of the points, 15 points out of 30. So I think Valencia right now is slightly better than Girona. Of course, they are playing at Montilivi, and the home factor of Girona also plays. I'm not saying no to that, but I'm going to back Valencia here. You may think that I'm going too far with this, but I think that Girona right now is not a reliable team. So I'm going to go for the following. I found 2 odds that I like. A double chance for Valencia, 187. 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏 is one of these strikers who is scoring right now. Not that I like him particularly, but he has scored 4 goals in 7 games, and he's bringing some firepower to Valencia. And otherwise, I think Girona is going to attack. They are misfiring a lot this season. They don't have good scorers, but they are creating a few chances. So it will be 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗀 to do 3 or more saves. Maybe Valencia suffers a little bit, but I think that Valencia can get something. 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗀 to do 3 or more saves. The future Liverpool goalkeeper, picking a double chance for Valencia, 187. I'm going to back Valencia this time. I think that we shouldn't forget that under 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗏, they got the 50% of the points available.
Very good numbers to stay in Primera División. And we have 5 games on Sunday. Leganés Betis is the first one. As you said, Betis just played on Thursday in the conference, and they are in the quarterfinals of the competitions, also very strong in La Liga, 4 consecutive wins. They can think now in the 5th spot and qualifying for the Champions League. Leganés 1 point away from the relegation, beat Getafe in the last home game. This is a key game for Leganés, for both sides, but for Leganés especially.
Yeah, for both sides. I think that this can be a slow starting game, a slow burning game. I have the feeling after Betis played in Europe, they played in Portugal. They got their best ever win on the road in European competition, by the way, on Thursday. And I think that Betis is a slightly favorite. Yes, they are in a good moment. They are going to be really fun to watch when 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗀 is back as well and plays with Isco and Anthony. I'm pretty sure about that. But right now, Betis is in a good moment in general. They are one of the most improved sides in the second half of the season. I was checking some numbers of Pellegrini. This is by, I have to credit him, Twitter account, Pedro Martin, Spanish statsman. He said that Pellegrini is really good in the second half of the season, not that good in the first half of the season. So in his whole career as a manager, and I cannot be accurate and say whether this happened only in Europe or also happened in South America, but anyway, during his career, in the first half of the competition of a league tournament, he got an average point tally of 158, okay? In the second half, an average point tally of 178. And it's happening now, and it happened with Manchester City, and it happened with Villarreal. It's like Betis or the teams of Pellegrini in the second half of the season improve. And they are improving. They are improving. So, I could back them, but I also think that this can be a slow starter. Let's don't forget that Leganés needs to get points as well. I'm going to go for a first half draw because Betis has played in Europe and they don't have such a big squad. That would be 2-10. I think Leganés will play for the point.
Next game, Sevilla Athletic. Athletic also hangover from the party they got themselves on Thursday, qualifying for the quarterfinals of the Europa League, beating Roma brilliantly. Hats off, Alvaro, congratulations. And still, of course, want to keep the 4th spot in La Liga. Sevilla looking now to the European spots. They won. They beat Real Sociedad last weekend. And remember, they haven't won back-to-back games in La Liga yet. So it's another chance for Sevilla to do it.
Yeah, I'm not going to back them to win, though. Neither to lose. I'm going to go for over 2 goals. I think that this game can have a few goals, and over 178 sounds to me like a good one here. Goals can happen. Sevilla has a good scorer like 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗀. Then 𝗏𝐭𝐚𝐲 has provided 6 assists, something that he doesn't excel on, at least in his career, but this season he's been good in that department. Sevilla beat Real Sociedad, yes, and they are in a decent, if not good run. And Athletic de Bilbao, they did the job against Roma. Then in La Liga, they got a few draws that stopped them from putting more distance with Villarreal. But, we shouldn't forget that they haven't had Vivian and Sunset lately. And yet, Athletic has been quite reliable in La Liga. They have barely suffered defeats this season. That's why a draw could be a good one, because Athletic has only lost 4 games this season. And simply, they don't lose a lot. Sevilla is in a good moment, so a draw could be a reasonable one, 321, but I prefer over 2 goals, 178. With the talent both teams have up front, goals can happen. And let's don't forget that Nico Williams, he destroyed Roma, and he looks like individually he can make the difference in any game.
Great game, this Sevilla Athletic. Then later on we have Osasuna Getafe. Both teams now far away from the relegation spot, 7 points away. Getafe now above Osasuna in the standings after beating Atlético de Madrid with 2 late goals scored by Aram Barry. Osasuna falling in the table. 4 winless games. It's only 1 win in the last 14 La Liga games for Osasuna, but it's true that it's not easy to win in Pamplona.
No, it's not easy, but anyway, I think Getafe has the know-how. They beat Atlético de Madrid lately. A double chance for them will be 165. It's not bad. I like the draw as well, 3.0. Of course, but there is a little bit of more element of risk. If you put the double chance together, you are mixing 2 odds, so then 2 possibilities, and then it's more likely to happen. I like the double chance for Getafe, really. 165, even though the draw, I have to say that it's 3.0, and Getafe has drawn this kind of games a lot, and on Arambarri very quickly. 7 goals from the 22 that Getafe has scored. That's incredible, eh? That's 30% of the goals of the team. But yeah, I will go for a double chance for Getafe.
And the next game we have Rayo Vallecano, Real Sociedad. Real Sociedad angry, sad after the game in Old Trafford outside the European competitions. Really bad results in La Liga, 3 defeats without scoring in the last 4 La Liga games. Very complicated also to play in Copa del Rey final, so it's gonna be a hard season for Real Sociedad, Álvaro, and Rayo. It's only 1 point in the last 4 games, but playing well. They have so many absentees, and still both teams can qualify for the European competitions. Is the target for both of them.
Yeah, well, but Rayo Vallecano is ahead of Real Sociedad in La Liga too, and they have had a little bit of a bad run, 1 point out of the last 12. But Real Sociedad, they lost at Old Trafford. The disappointment is there. I think Real Sociedad doesn't have a big squad. That's the problem. They tried to have a big squad, but they haven't got it right with the number 9. You need always the same players to play, because the drop in quality between the starting lineup and the rest of the players is really, really, really big. And on top of that, Real Sociedad doesn't score a lot of goals. That's something that we have to take into consideration. 23 goals only for a team that has played 27 league games. That's very little. I mean, you cannot qualify for Europe like this if you don't defend well. I mean, if you score 23 goals, you better defend very well, and this is not the case of Real Sociedad this season. But if they don't defend well, they can't win. They are a bit depleted as well. Brais Méndez, the footballer who brings some goals from midfield, might have a broken toe after he picked an injury. So I'm going to back Rayo Vallecano here with an Asian handicap minus 0.25. Real Sociedad is tired, Rayo Vallecano hasn't rested, they are good at home, and that pays 2.11.
And the game of the games this weekend, Atlético de Madrid, Barcelona, a game that can decide a title, especially I think if Barcelona wins, Atlético de Madrid are out of the title race. It would be 4 points away from Barcelona, but still we've seen so many twists in this La Liga. Álvaro, let's see how Atlético Madrid reacts after the disappointment of being knocked out again by Real Madrid, and in such circumstances, because it's very difficult to stand and compete only 4 days after is the opposite for Barcelona. They had a very quiet and easy tie against Benfica with a lot of positives, especially, of course, Lamine Yamal.
Lamine Yamal, him to score or assist in this game, by the way, is 225. I could back that, but obviously Rafinha to score or assist is more likely because Rafinha has taken part in a lot of goals this season. Lamine Yamal in many as well, but not as many as Rafinha. But we have to take into consideration the tridente of Barcelona between Lamine, Lewandowski, and Rafinha have scored 73 goals in all competitions. I'm not talking about goal contributions. I'm talking about goals. That's a lot. I think Barcelona is going to win this game, really. But anyway, don't forget that Barcelona hasn't beaten Atlético this season at Barcelona's ground in December. Atlético de Madrid managed to win with a goal from Sorloth in the last minute. But there were goals in this game. In that game, there were many goals, 8 in total in the cup game, semi-final, first leg as well. So over 2.5 goals is something that I like a lot. 160. I know that Atlético likes to defend well, but against Barcelona, both are producing a lot of goals. So over 2.5 goals could be 160, one that I pick straight away. I have no doubt about that. Otherwise, I'll go for Barcelona to win. I think Barcelona can win this game, really, because they are in a better run than Atlético, and I take into consideration that they have found it difficult against Atlético de Madrid. Barcelona to win 220, but if you want to go safer, over 2.5 goals, 160.
Check also Sorloth to score. He always scores again. Yeah. Barcelona, Correa is suspended, by the way. I think 5.
Correa out. 5.
Right. He was shown the red card and then he said everything in perfect Spanish from Argentina to the referee, so he's going to be missed. Big game. This one, remember that in less than 1 month, we have the second leg of the Copa del Rey semi-final in this stadium. We have again Atlético de Madrid, Barcelona. Well, guys, as always, we have our tipster competitions going on, so feel free to participate and to have the chance to win some cash prizes and participate also in Rivals, our custom competitions. Well, Alvaro, this is it for our video. Let's finish with your safe bet.
It will be Sevilla, Athletic, over 1.5 goals, 145.
And the ACCA?
Villarreal, Real Madrid, over 3 goals. Sevilla, Athletic, over 2 goals. Atlético de Madrid, Barcelona, over 2.5 goals. Altogether, 492.
Okay, Alvaro, thank you. Enjoy the break. Remember, we will be back in with La Liga in 2 weeks' time. We'll have international break. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you.